Good morning again, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing another video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know. This is going to be on the idea of closed systems with special emphasis on an abuse that happens a lot with closed systems and using them as a tool to persuade people to influence their thinking and their beliefs. So, short video, but the closed systems I'm talking about are the kinds of things you'll see in a controlled experiment or in news that fails to include the bigger picture, things taken out of context. You've heard of that. It's a type of closed system where you're omitting the outside stuff. It's not always easy or practical to include everything, but there are what we call relevant details that should be included and sometimes are not. And the opportunity here for abuse is that you can show anything to be true and potentially helpful and positive by compartmentalizing it. You separate it from reality. You create a fictional environment and you give it the parameters that you wish. You start with the premise that you're correct and that the thing you're selling or whatever is advantageous, and then you build around that idea. And at which point it becomes impossible or difficult to continue to justify in your example or whatever, you close off the system and you say, hey, look, here it's working fine. Okay, now I want to connect this to something very real and immediate and extremely important, which is the outsourcing, not the outsourcing, the exporting of American problems to other countries. This might sound tedious and what's the word I'm looking for? Like beating a dead horse. Like we've all heard this before. Many of us have heard this before, and it's stale, and it's we're tired of hearing it. And frankly, we just want to get on with our day, and we don't want to have to deal with anything. There's a problem here. We Americans, and most Western European countries actually live a way of life that, by design, expects to send our troubles elsewhere. We have waste products, not just garbage and trash, but other kinds as well. We have the waste of class warfare. We have the fallout from that. We have waste in terms of the fallout from predictable health problems that arise from our form of economics. That is, when people can't make ends meet, when there's an unsupportable amount of stress in communities and families, they turn to substances and crime. That kind of waste it's understood that it's part of our model, and most of it we have found ways to channel out of the area. We just export it. We don't necessarily care where it goes, but it tends to go to the Middle East. After a circuitous path, it ends up there. We take from them something of value and replace it with our waste product. And my point is that it's not challenged or understood largely by the common public, the public at large, because tie this back to the original subject, it is shown repeatedly in the media by any authority you talk to that it works, right? Hey, look, in this closed system right here, within our borders, if you will, it's working just fine. Everything's working. Everything's good. There's no problem, right? Enjoy your day. Stay out of trouble. Don't ask questions. You'll be all right. That's what you're hearing, right? Well, wait a minute. What's going on outside? I want to know what's going on over there. Can you tell me what's going on, please? I mean, this is a hypothetical conversation. I already know what's going on, actually. And if I sound angry about it, maybe I should be. Maybe you should be. Maybe you should, at the very least, understand why people are telling you so often that everything's fine. Why people are telling you over and over that things work just fine and that no change is needed, when what they are trying to say, what they're really trying to say, is Whatever you do, don't take our power away. Whatever you do, don't change anything that's going to undermine our authority, our control of your beliefs, our control of your money, our control of your decisions. Whatever you do, don't rock the boat. Don't change anything. Everything's fine in this system. It's not fine, man. There's a whole world going on out there. Most of it isn't fine. And we have an influence on that world. We have a stake in that world, and they have a stake in our world, whether you like it or not. The world's too small to pretend like we're not part of it. Maybe in the early part of last century we could do that. No, it doesn't work anymore. We all share this little rock. And there's a lot of people hurting right now literally because of what you're doing. Your way of life, your conveniences, your economic prosperity. Is that just because you're smart? Is it because you're white? Or is it because your ancestors owned slaves and you're exporting all your problems? I'm here to remind you of why you're prosperous, why your grandparents were prosperous. Yeah, they were industrious. Yeah, they were smart. I'll give you that. But they also had a lot of help. And you guys continue to get help from the whole world over their objection. And I'm saying, last thing I'm going to say is that there's a limit. Once it is known, once the truth comes out, and you can always expect the truth to come out, it will be a short matter, a brief matter of correcting it. So which side do you want to be on? Let's talk about that. You hear this a lot. Whose side are you on? Are you on our side or their side? Okay, well, my side, our side, if you ask me, is the one that doesn't get nuked. My side is the one that has some kind of decency towards other people, other human beings, that doesn't just ignore the questions, doesn't just assume that everything's fine because it looks fine in my town. That's whose side I'm on. The people who actually think a little bit. The people who try to make things better a little bit. The people who care about where their waste goes. That's whose side I'm on. So join me if you like. We need all the help we can get. Have a great day. Reach out with questions or comments to whiteoutrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.